And Snowden's revelations' impact is still being felt in the United States. President Barack Obama has met with bosses of top technology companies over the NSA spying scandal. The meeting comes a day after a court ruled that the National Security Agency's collection of phone records could be unconstitutional. Alan Fisher joins us now live from D.C. Alan, do we know what's come out of the meeting between Obama and the top executives from these technology companies?
Well, we know the tech companies had said to Barack Obama, look, you need to get a grip on the NSA spying because it's discouraging people from using the internet. There are privacy issues, but also it's affecting the bottom line of companies like Facebook, Yahoo, and Google, Microsoft as well. And so he asked them along to the White House to discuss the rollout of the Affordable Health Care Act, and we all know what a disaster that was online, and he wanted their input on that. But they had said to him, yep, we'll come along and we'll talk about that, but you also have to talk about the NSA. Now, this was a conversation that they wanted much more than he did. And certainly the meeting went on a lot longer than it was expected in the White House. And in the end, all we got was no statement at all from the tech company CEOs, from the bosses, and from the White House we got a line saying that the issue was raised, and Barack Obama said that he will take on board their views as they go ahead planning on what's going to happen with the NSA in future. Now remember, some of the bosses from the tech companies have already sent a letter to Barack Obama saying you are damaging what we are doing and you need to put some more privacy protecting measures on top of the NSA. And Barack Obama has already said, looking at the NSA and the way it goes forward from here, there will be some restraint shown. But he received a report just a couple of days ago which suggested that this mass trawl continues with maybe a few tweaks to the privacy legislation. And that is probably where the White House is going because they believe that that's the way ahead to keep the country safe. So there's still a lot of discussion to go on, but certainly the White House is still tilting towards a mass trawl rather than doing what the tech companies want, which is to rein in some of the impacts it has on individual privacy.
Meanwhile, on Monday, as we mentioned, Alan, a judge in D.C. ruled that the NSA's mass collection of telephone data may be unconstitutional. Now, the U.S. government, I believe, is expected to make an appeal to this ruling. Can they overcome this ruling?
Well, the Department of Justice is looking at the ruling that was given by the federal court here in Washington, D.C. And to borrow a well-known phrase from British legal history, if the Department of Justice don't appeal this, then I'm a banana. They are going to look at this quite simply because the judge, when he laid the issue against the NSA and said, look, perhaps you are acting unconstitutionally. We have the Fourth Amendment here in the United States. That it makes sure that people are not subject to unfair surveillance and unfair scrutiny. But delivering that, he also said, I'm going to put a hold on that because I know there will be an appeal. And he knows there'll be an appeal on constitutional grounds, on legal grounds. If you speak to people who are close to the Department of Justice, people who are close to the NSA, they believe that undoubtedly there are holes in what the judge has said, and this can be appealed. It perhaps might go all the way to the Supreme Court. But this is something that the judge has done that has lit a fire under those who are opposing what the NSA is doing at the moment, saying, look, you're making all these assumptions in private court, this was done in open, and the judge says it's unconstitutional. Maybe it's time to change what the NSA is doing.
Alan, thank you very much. Alan Fisher live for us in D.C.